Cyborg, Victor Stone, a character who rose from tragedy to become one of DC's most beloved heroes. For decades, he was a vital part of the Teen Titans, a team where he grew into a leader, a mentor, and a hero that fans cherished. So how did a character with so much potential go from a shining star to a sideline Justice League tech support? Hey, it's Jug. Cyborg first appeared in 1980's New Teen Titans, a series that would go on to redefine DC's sidekick team as a dynamic force in the superhero world. Created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, Cyborg was introduced as a layered character, defined by his struggle to reconcile his humanity with his machine parts. It was this conflict, along with his bonds that he formed with the Titans, that made him stand out. But in 2011, something changed. When DC launched the New 52 in 2011, they made a bold decision. Cyborg was no longer just a member of the Teen Titans. Instead, he was elevated to the status of a founding member of the Justice League. This was an exciting opportunity for the character, but in many ways, it also marked the beginning of his struggles. Throughout much of the New 52 era, Cyborg often felt out of place in the Justice League. His character was redefined not by his personal struggles or his relationships, but by his role as the team's resident technology expert. On the Justice League, Cyborg became the team's tech expert and transport. He was largely relegated to managing computer systems, interfacing with alien technology, and doing the heavy lifting of the Justice League's tech needs. Gone were the emotional, character-driven stories that defined him in the Teen Titans. He was now standing beside DC's Big Seven, but was he really on the same level? Let's rewind. Cyborg worked on the Titans. His relationship with characters like Starfire, Raven, and especially Beast Boy were the heart of those stories. The Titans were more than just a team, they were a family. And Cyborg was a central figure in that dynamic. He wasn't just their tech guy, he was their emotional core. For some, he was their mentor and their brother. I mean, we definitely see that in the shows as well. Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, Cyborg is just part of the family in those shows. But in the comics, it was kind of quite similar. It was in the Titans that we saw Cyborg truly shine. He wasn't defined by his connection to Apocalypse, Darkseid, or some mother box tech. Instead, he was a hero, overcoming immense personal tragedy, dealing with his feelings of loss and depression, and proving to himself and others that he was more than just a machine. Many fans agree that Cyborg's potential was wasted on the Justice League. They argue that while Cyborg can be on the League, he shouldn't have to leave his Titans roots behind. After all, characters like Wally West and Dick Grayson have been members of both the Titans and the Justice League without sacrificing their identities. On the Justice League, Cyborg felt out of place. His stories became more about him being a living computer than a hero dealing with his humanity. His connections to the other Justice League members felt thin, and more often than not, he was overshadowed by Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and the rest of the iconic roster. When you think of the Justice League, you think of heroes with big, larger-than-life roles. Superman is the heart, Batman might be the strategist, and Wonder Woman she's the warrior. But Cyborg, he often just felt like that tech guy in the background. And that's the problem. He's more than that. On the Titans, Cyborg, like we said, was the heart and the soul of the team. On the Justice League, he was often just there. Many fans point to Geoff Johns as the reason behind this shift. As a writer and later head of DC's creative direction, Johns had a personal connection to Cyborg. Growing up in Detroit like Victor Stone himself, Johns saw potential in Cyborg as a character that could help modernize the Justice League. This is why we saw him making Cyborg one of the founding members of the New 52 Justice League, complete with a mother box connection to Apocalypse. But this retcon did not sit well with everyone. Fans who grew up with the new Teen Titans era saw this shift as unnecessary or even detrimental. Why add a connection to Darkseid and Apocalypse when Cyborg already had a rich history of stories grounded in human struggles? The question many fans ask is, was this change really needed? Couldn't Cyborg have developed as a hero without being uprooted from the Titans? After all, his journey wasn't about being in godlike battles or dealing with alien tech. It was about finding his place in the world that saw him as a monster and coping with the grief of such a traumatic change to himself. That's not to say Cyborg hasn't had some standout moments in the Justice League. One of the standout examples of Cyborg finally finding a better balance between his Justice League role and his Titans roots came in the series Justice League Odyssey. In this series, Cyborg was part of a team that included Starfire, who was a fellow Titan, as well as Green Lantern Jessica Cruz and the once Batman Azrael. This lineup allowed for a more interesting dynamic. While Cyborg was still the team's tech expert, Odyssey gave him more room to grow as a leader and as an individual. He wasn't just the person interfacing with alien technology, he was actively making decisions, guiding the team, and bonding with his teammates. His friendship with Starfire helped him reconnect to his Titan's past, reminding fans of the strong relationships that made him such a beloved character in the first place. Meanwhile, his interactions with Jessica Cruz Green Lantern provided a fresh perspective as the two shared moments of vulnerability and camaraderie, showing that Cyborg could be more than just the living computer. This series demonstrated what Cyborg could truly become when given the opportunity to be more than a tool for the team. He could be the heart and a leader once again. I just want to say Cyborg is a hero with so much potential. Whether on the Titans or on the Justice League, the key to unlocking his greatness isn't about which team he's on. It's about telling stories that let him be more than just the tech guy. He needs to be the heart, or the mentor, or the hero who struggles and overcomes. Because that's who Victor Stone is, and that's why fans love him. But what do you think? Was Cyborg the right fit for the Justice League, or should he have stayed on the Titans? Where do you see Cyborg progressing in the future? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.